संभवन्ति याः तासां ब्रह्म महद्योनिर् aham biju pradapita. Translation. It should be understood that all species of life, son of Kunti, are made possible by birth in this material nature, and that I am the seed-giving father. Purport. In this verse, it is clearly explained that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is the original father of all living entities. The living entities are combinations of the material nature and the spiritual nature. Such living entities are seen not only on this planet, but on every planet, even on the highest, where Brahma is situated. Everywhere there are living entities. Within the earth, there are living entities, even within water and within fire. All these appearances are due to the mother, material nature, and Krishna's seed giving process. The purport is that the material world is impregnated with living entities who come out in various forms at the time of creation according to their past deeds.
So who is the father?
Krishna.
Is he father only of human beings?
No,
No. Then
he's father of all the material things.
all species, right?
Yes.
There's 8,400,000 species.
Mm.
All these species, Krishna is the father. Some people say that material nature is the cause of this living entities. But here Krishna has been telling us, no, it's not material nature. I'm putting the living entities inside this material nature. Then the body, yes, the body is coming with the material nature, right? Our body is made of material elements. But the soul, we are the living entities, the soul, not the body. So, soul is coming from Krishna. And then, how is it that we are going into different species? How is it
Yeah,
decided what body we should get?
because of our desires and past
Mm,
deeds.
that's right. That's right. Okay.
सत्त्वं रजस्तम इति गुणां प्रकृतिसम्भवाः निबध्नन्ति महाभावो देहिनाम् अव्ययम्. Translation. Material nature consists of three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. When the eternal living entity comes in contact with nature, O mighty armed Arjuna, he becomes conditioned by these modes. Purport. The living entity become because he is transcendental has nothing to do with these material nature. Still, because he has become conditioned by the material nature, he is acting under the spell of the three modes of material nature. Because living entities have different kinds of bodies, in terms of different aspects of nature, they are induced to act according to that nature. That is the cause of the varieties of happiness and distress.
So, what is Krishna saying here?
That he's telling about that the material nature is made up of three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. And when we, the living entities, come in contact with them, then we behave in different ways. That is the reason of our different behavior and variety, like how we are in happiness, sometimes in distress, sometimes we are in a body of an, like how we behave in different, like sometimes we get so, I want to do this, and sometimes I get so lazy. So that is the reason for our condition after we come in contact with them, the
Yeah.
moods.
So, actually, the soul, we are transcendental to these modes. But now, because we are in the material body, then we get captured by these modes, entangled by these modes, right?
Yeah.
Because the soul, pure soul, is above the modes. Modes cannot act on the soul actually. And now, because here we are in the body, then the body is under the control of the modes. And then this is how we are going, acting under the modes, then getting reactions, happiness and distress. Okay.
Yeah. Tatra sattvam nirmalatvat prakash prakashakam anamayam sukha sangena badhnati jnana sangena chanaga. Translation: O sinless one, the mode of goodness, being purer than the others, is illuminating and it frees one from all sinful reactions. Those situated in that mode become conditioned by a sense of happiness and knowledge. Purport: the living entities conditioned by material nature are of various types. One is happy, another is very active, and another is helpless. All these types of psychological manifestations are causes of the entity's conditioned status in nature. How they are differently conditioned is explained in this section of Bhagavad Gita. The mode of goodness is first considered. The effect of developing the mode of goodness in the material world is that one becomes wiser than those otherwise conditioned. A man in the mode of goodness is not so much affected by material miseries, and he has a sense of advancement in material knowledge. The representative type is the Brahman, who is supposed to be situated in the mode of goodness. This sense of happiness is due to understanding that in the mode of goodness, one is more or less free from sinful reactions. Actually, in the Vedic literature, it is said that the mode of goodness means greater knowledge and a greater sense of happiness. The difficulty here is that when a living entity is situated in the mode of goodness, he becomes conditioned to feel that he is advanced in knowledge and is better than others. In this way, he becomes conditioned. The best examples are the scientist and the philosopher. Each is very proud of his knowledge, and because they generally improve their living conditions, they feel a sort of material happiness. This sense of advanced happiness in conditioned life makes them bound by the mode of goodness of material nature. As such, they are attracted toward working in the mode of goodness, and as long as they have an attraction for working in that way, they have to take some type of body in the modes of nature. Thus, there is no likelihood of liberation or of being transferred to the spiritual world. Repeatedly, one may become a philosopher, a scientist, or a poet, and repeatedly become entangled in the same disadvantages of birth and death. But due to the illusion of the material energy, one thinks that that sort of life is pleasant.
Okay. So, mode of goodness. What
Yeah,
is what is Krishna saying about the mode of goodness?
it's illuminating and it frees one from all sinful reactions
Mm.
and like which eventually brings happiness and knowledge. And Prabhupada is mentioning in the verse that although this mode of goodness, like although if someone is in mode of goodness, they still have that pride
Yeah,
which binds them, yeah,
become
or that maybe that happiness or satisfaction,
that's right.
material
They become
happiness, yeah,
conditioned because Krishna
yes.
is saying here they become conditioned by
Mm.
that sense of happiness and knowledge. So they feel happy. Okay, I have because they
Mm.
are working in knowledge, so their sinful reactions are not there, right? So they are getting their reactions is that they are enjoying, they're happy. But this happiness is also binding them, making them stay longer in the material world. And one is happy, one will say, why should I move, you know? I'm happy, why should I get out of here? And then when
Yeah.
one has knowledge, one may, as you said, right? Pride may come in.
Mm.
I'm better than others. I have more knowledge than others. What they are doing, how they are acting. Don't they know how they should act?
So,
So,
s- like in this case, if someone is in this mode, sattvic mode, and then the pride comes in. So
hmm,
does that mean they are also in the mode of ignorance at that time?
yeah, pride is mode of ignorance at that
Yeah.
time. See what happens with material modes. That's the thing. So gradually we have to come to goodness, right? Because from goodness, the idea is not to stay in goodness, but to transcend goodness also. Because as you rightly said, when you're in goodness, but you may be again influenced by ignorance or influenced by passion. So after all, because it is material, and then the modes are always fighting to get dominance on us, they're fighting
Mm.
who's going to dominate. So the secure platform actually is to come to pure goodness, Shuddha Sattva, above the modes.
Mm.
So then the idea is, okay, gradual elevation coming from ignorance to passion, passion to goodness, and from goodness to transcend. But of course, one who takes up Krishna consciousness, then they can immediately transcend. Immediately
Mm.
when one is taking up devotional service, one can immediately transcend the modes.
Mm. Mm. So, like these philosophers and scientists, are they in the mode of goodness?
Yeah, Prabhupada is saying, because they have knowledge, right?
So, means anyone who has knowledge of some particular
Yeah,
kind.
yeah.
So, we can say that person is in the mode of goodness.
Because studying is like Brahmanical
Okay, so it's related to studying. The more
study.
one studies, the more one is in
Yeah,
like scholar.
scholar, that's right.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
then that comes in that category.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So see, somebody may be like a very good musician,
Hmm.
and then for lifetimes they continue being musician because they're so happy being a
Hmm.
musician and they have the expertise and for lifetimes they have practiced, so they're really good. You know, like we can see that some musicians, it's not possible to come to that level of expertise in just one life. So then, because they're good at it, it's giving them happiness. Then their desire to come back again is there. So it conditions one to come back.
Hmm. So now, like sometimes we see somebody has that inborn, innate talent of
Mm-hmm.
music.
Mm,
Like Mozart, I guess Mozart was him. Like
mm,
he had that talent,
mm.
right? He started playing at very young age.
So,
This piano.
hmm so then
Yeah. So,
probably coming from before, right?
yeah.
So that's what it is.
Like A.R. Rahman. I read that he just creates a song in 20 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
Mm.
then, and so like that, there would be like geniuses in so many different fields, right? That one wonders that how
Mm.
this person is such a genius,
Yeah.
you know, that is, it's not possible. So then it's probably coming from before. Somebody
Mm.
has worked on that.
Maybe many, many lives.
Yeah, somebody's been working
Oh.
on it. And then, but then we can see then that means still keeping here in the material world.
Yes. So although they are in the mode of goodness, but still they are not to, transcendental, right?
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
So,
So
so
Shilpaji,
any.
just one question then,
Mm,
because he has not connected his talent to Krishna. But
mm,
the moment he connects the talent to Krishna, like if he starts singing the bhajans
mm.
and he offer it at the feet of Lord Krishna, then his devotional service begins from there, right?
That's right.
Then the
Hmm.
entanglement would not be there.
Gradually, gradually. Yeah,
Gradually and gradually, yeah, then he will get in connection with Krishna, and then
yeah,
it would be purifying, and then
that's right. So then we can see then that means the only way to get out of the modes is devotional
Hmm.
service. There's no other way
Okay.
actually to get out of the modes. Krishna also says in the seventh chapter, right? That, what is that? Devi hi esha gunamai mama maya
Gunamaya.
duratyaya. Mam eva ye prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. He says this divine energy of mind consisting of the three modes of material nature is very difficult to overcome. But those who surrender unto me can very easily cross beyond it. So when one
Mm.
surrenders to Krishna, one engages in devotional service, then gradually one can. Well, again, for someone it could be immediately. Again, it would depend on the degree of surrender. But for the average person, it's not so easy to surrender completely immediately, right? So then,
Mm.
to the degree of surrender, then Krishna rewards accordingly. Ye
Mm.
yathamam prapadyante tamstateva bhajami aham.
Mm.
So the modes
Uh,
of binding. Yes.
yes. So, so I'm actually kind of confused between the mode of goodness and passion. So, mode of goodness, we would call if somebody is in the mode of goodness only when that person uh, is following his calling, right? Like he's doing something not only for earning money, but for the satisfaction of his soul
Mm-hmm.
and the passion. Because sometimes we say that that person is very ambitious, although he loves doing it,
Mm.
but he's very ambitious. He's passionate about music. He's passionate about studying something like that.
Mm.
So how we can differentiate between these two conditions, like mode of passion and mode of goodness in this case?
See, well, passion now, the next verse, that's what we are going to read, is a lot
Hmm.
of unlimited desires and longings. As you said, too many ambitions.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's too many desires, too many longing, then that is passion. Whereas goodness is more, one has a sense of satisfaction, one has a sense of happiness, and one is
Hmm.
bound by knowledge. He's
Hmm.
cultivating knowledge. Yeah. So he has a
Okay.
sense of satisfaction there. He's happy, he's content.
Okay, and he stops wanting more and more, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah. That wanting more and more, that is
Hmm.
passion.
Okay. Okay, got it. Thank you.
Thank you. So, yeah, that's now we are going to read in this verse about
Hmm.
passion.
I think so.
Ranju,
Okay.
yeah,
Sorry.
Somnath, he wants to read. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Maybe my voice is. Are you able to listen to my voice?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you.
Thank you. राजो राशग समुद्भद्वम् तत्री बध्नाति कौन्तेय कर्म कर्म सगेन देहिनाम्. Translation: the mode of passion is born of unlimited desire and longings, O son of Kunti, and because of this, the embodied living entity is bound to material fruitive action. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The
Jai.
mode of passion is characterized by the attraction between man and woman. Woman has attraction for man and man has attraction for woman. This is called the mode of passion. And when the mode of passion is increased, this is called and when the mode of passion is increased, one one develops the han- hankering for the material enjoyment. He wants to enjoy sense gratification. For sense gratification, a man in the mode of passion wants some honor in the society or in the nation, and he wants to have a happy family with nice children, wife, and house. These are the products of the mode of passion. As long as one is hankering after these things, he has to work very hard. Therefore, it is clearly stated here that he become associated with the fruit of his activities and thus become bound by such activity. In order to please his wife, children, and society, and to keep up his prestige, one has to work. Therefore, his whole material world is more or less in the mode of passion. Modern civilization is considered to be advanced in the standard of mode of passion. Formerly, the advanced condition was considered to be in the mode of goodness. If there is no liberation for those in the mode of goodness, what to speak of those who are entangled in the mode of passion?
right? So, what is mode of passion characterized by?
So yeah, the mode of passion is characterized by exactly me, Somnath, who has a material desire, want to have a good wife, good children, and yeah, and
Yeah,
once this desire happens, then it will keep looping around.
yeah, that's right. Most of us are in this category, you know. Majority of the population is in this passion, you know, and we are trained more and more from childhood, right? Go to it, you know, why stop here? Get more, strive for more. So,
Yeah,
yeah. So this is mode of passion, unlimited desire. So majority of the world population comes here because then everything comes. Oh, want a wife, then want children, then want no wife, then need a house, then need some standing in society, need some children, need some. So it keeps on adding. It, it's you know, and as we are saying here right now, mode of passion is given more importance in current. Like we are kind of encouraged to come into the mode of passion,
yeah,
right? Okay, let's go on.
Exactly.
Huh? I'm sorry,
Yeah,
what?
exactly. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. We are encouraged. We are encouraged. Oh, you're so laid back. You know, how could you be so laid back? Right?
Exactly. Like
It's,
a lot of comparison, peer pressure, and so many things.
yeah.
Mm.
Dil mange more. Right? I don't know where this
But
came from, but anyway.
I still remember, like, in my time, the things were not like this. If parents were not in that comparison mode, because they, even if we like, they would not compare at least with our friends or anybody, and they would not never even ask कि उसको कितने marks आए. अभी के टाइम में पेरेंट्स, rather than asking कि हमारे बच्चे के कितने आए, they would always want to know कि अच्छा तुम्हारे वो फ्रेंड के कितने आए जिसके साथ तुम पढ़ रहे थे.
Yeah. So we can
So we are
see,
more
right?
worried about the other person, but I think that in the previous we were not, right?
Yeah, it's true. As we are advancing so much, the
Hmm.
modern the modern civilization is what we say advancement, right?
Getting more
Becoming more
entangled.
sophisticated. As the
Yeah.
modern civilization is getting more sophisticated, we are in fact coming more into the mode of passion and
Gosh.
a lot into the mode of ignorance also. We are going to hear now what is about
So
ignorance.
Shilpa ji, you
Hmm.
said that this when we are like uh, how it is born out of desires. And then the impact is that we have too many desires and we're not satisfied and we are greedy. We need more, like how you said, dil mange.
Hmm.
And then there is entanglement, is like the fruitive results we want, right?
Yeah, because see,
Bound to the
we want the result.
hmm. When we
And
are
there's
working hard.
so many, yeah. अभी इतना
Hmm.
मेहनत किया, I should enjoy.
Hmm. Yes,
नहीं
yes,
तो मेहनत क्यों
absolutely.
किया? अभी मेहनत किया, I need to enjoy. Then, but what happens actually? Actually, really, is there enjoyment? There's enjoyment
Hmm.
in the beginning, but then soon it turns into distress. We are going to hear what's the
Hmm.
effects. Krishna
Hmm.
speaks about all this.
Hmm. Okay.
Hmm. Oh, it's
Are we
already
going to?
almost time up, is
Yeah,
it?
it's 8:30. Yeah,
Ah, it's 8:30. So we leave
yeah.
ignorance for tomorrow, but tomorrow is Saturday.
Or so can we finish ignorance? I'll just read the ignorance quickly, if it's okay
It
with everyone.
depends
Yeah,
if
yeah,
they have
sure.
time. You'll have time?
Yes, I have time. Okay,
Somnath
Somnath, is
is
it fine?
Yeah, 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 yeah. We can,
Yeah,
we
just
can, we
one
can.
last one. Yeah,
all
we'll
sure?
just finish the last one. Yeah.
Okay, so ignorance. Hmm.
तमस्तव अज्ञानजं विद्धि मोहनं सर्वदेहिनां प्रमादालस्य निद्रा प्रमाद आलस्य निद्राभिस्तन्निबध्नाति भारत. O son of Bharat, now that the mode of darkness, born of ignorance, is the delusion of all embodied living entities, the result of this mode are madness, indolence and sleep, which bind the conditioned soul. Purport. In this verse, the specific application of the word tu is very significant. This means that the mode of ignorance is very peculiar qualification of the embodied soul. The mode of ignorance is just the opposite of the mode of goodness. In the mode of goodness, by development of knowledge, one can understand what is what, but the mode of ignorance is just the opposite. Everyone under the spell of the mode of ignorance becomes mad, and a madman cannot understand what is what. Instead of making advancement, one becomes degraded. The definition of the mode of ignorance is stated in the Vedic literature. Vastu yathatmaya jnana avakarnam viprayaya jnana jnanakam tamaha. Under the spell of ignorance, one cannot understand a thing as it is. For example, everyone can see that his grandfather has died and therefore he will also die. Man is mortal. The children that he conceives will also die. So death is sure. Still, people are madly accumulating money and working very hard all day and night, not caring for the eternal spirit. This is madness. In their madness,
Hare Krishna.
even active like the
Hare
man.
Krishna. We
Yeah.
lost you. Yeah. In
Okay.
madness, they are
Okay.
very reluctant.
Okay. So, okay, this is madness. In their madness, they are very reluctant to make advancement in the spiritual understanding. Such people are very lazy. When they are invited to associate for spiritual understanding, they are not much interested. They are not even active like the man who is controlled by the mode of passion. Thus, another symptom of one embedded in the mode of ignorance is that he sleeps more than is required. 6 hours of sleep is sufficient, but a man in the mode of ignorance sleeps at least 10 or 12 hours a day. Such a man appears to be always dejected and is addicted to intoxicants and sleeping. These are the symptoms of
Of a person conditioned by the mode of ignorance. Your voice broke off again. Are you able to hear me? Haribol, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, yeah, I can
Hi,
hear you, Shilpaji.
your voice
I
broke up.
can hear. Yeah,
Okay, so what is Krishna saying about ignorance?
that is born out of delusion, darkness,
Yeah,
ignorance.
ignorance, right?
Yeah,
And
it's the opposite of goodness.
opposite of goodness. And how does it bind the soul?
Uh, the soul becomes mad. He's always in sleep. He's in a madness. He has
Yeah.
the drugs, addicted, intoxicant.
Yeah,
He's going to parties. He's sleeping more than 6 to 8 hours.
yeah. So what he's doing is also in ignorance, and the result is also going to be in ignorance, you
Mm.
know? So it's like completely dark. So there is two types of ignorance here, of course, that Krishna is speaking. One is the delusion of all embodied living entities. So in that we are all ignorant, right? Because of ignorance, we are engaging in sinful activities. What's our ignorance? We have forgotten we are the body. We think we are the soul, right? So
No,
that is, hmm?
we, the ignorance is that we think we are the body,
Yeah, we think we are the
right?
body.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the ignorance. We've
Yes.
forgotten we are the soul.
Mhm. Mm.
So that is ignorance. And then, of course, another, okay, so that is like a general ignorance that all of us have here, conditioned living entities. But again, there is this mode of ignorance. And what is that? Okay, like engaging in sinful activities, like addictions,
Mm.
too much sleeping, like behaving in a delirious way, not knowing what one is doing. So then that is all ignorance. Because passion, at least there is activity, right? There's
Mm.
desire, there's activity, somebody striving to get something at least. But ignorance, that is also not there.
Mm.
So, is that okay?
So
Yeah.
the reactions, like when we make impulsive decisions or impulsive reactions, so can we say we, in mode of ignorance, we do that?
But depends again what kind of action, what is that impulsive decision. Mostly it could
Mm.
be passion. But again, it depends what's the activity that you're being impulsive about.
Like anger. I think anger is always mode of
Anger
ignorance.
is ignorance, yes. But
Mm.
if it's impulsive that, okay, I'm going to create a new business right now and I start working on a business, that's passion.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, anger, that's ignorance.
Mm. Okay.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare
The
Krishna.
one word I didn't get it is the second last sentence, dejected.
Mm. He appears to be always dejected. Yeah, like always like depressed, sad.
Okay, such a man appears to be all means here.
Hmm? I'm sorry. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Yeah, are we still
Uh,
talking about dejected?
yeah.
Yeah,
So
okay.
here this,
Yes, please.
so this dejected, I didn't understand exactly the meaning of dejected in this particular sentence.
So it means feeling sad, always having
Oh,
that that kind of depressed, you know,
oh,
always feeling that, the, uh, yeah, like depressed, sad.
okay, got it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we can see in goodness there's happiness. In passion there's too much activity, ambition, excitement. Yeah. And then in ignorance, there's always a feeling of sadness, rejected, like that.
Okay, got it. Thank you so much.
Okay, so we'll stop here. Bhagavad Gita. Yes, yes,
Sorry. Uh,
yes.
just suddenly, it appears to my mind, like it came to my mind that when somebody dies and we cry, so is that also ignorance?
In the deeper sense, yes, but it's also natural, you know.
Okay.
In one sense, yes, you may say that because we are, after all, not the body, right?
Hmm.
We are the soul. So, but it is a very natural thing because there will be affection. There would
Yes.
have been affection, there will be attachment. So we are going to.
Hmm. So, but if somebody goes beyond these three modes, then
Yeah,
that attachment will also be gone.
yeah. Because then one is seeing,
Hmm.
rightly, one is seeing that as a soul, and then, that the soul is in its journey.
Yeah, okay. So we have to say that that's natural until we are in these modes of nature.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
you know, it is natural because, like, if you artificially try to say, oh, well, I'm not going to cry because somebody passed away,
Hmm.
because then I'm ignorant, but then we are acting,
Yeah, right.
not in a
Okay.
very proper manner as we should,
Hmm.
because appropriate emotions have to be expressed at appropriate time.
Hmm. Okay.
So, but the one who's beyond these modes, he's called sober, right? By Krishna.
Hmm.
That's how he sees that a person who can see that the soul is not changing, it's just the body that is changing, then such a person is sober. Yeah. You can see
Hmm.
things how they are.
Okay.
Like the great devotees now that comes to mind. For example, um, it was Srivas Thakur's son or Advaita Acharya's son.
Hmm.
The kirtan was going on at night. Srivas Thakur maybe, because the kirtans usually would have been happening at his night. The
Srivas
young
Thakur's yes,
Srivas Thakur,
who
the
died,
son,
right? Who
yeah, he
died.
died in the
Yeah.
night. He was a young boy, and the mother and the ladies were crying. He said, "Stop crying. If you cry, Mahaprabhu will stop his kirtans. And if he does that, then I'm gonna go jump into the Ganga." So we can see here that, okay, the mother is affected by affection, so she's crying. But here Shivas Thakur, he's on a transcendental platform. So he understands that the soul is just going on his journey. And then, he's like, but and Mahaprabhu, God himself is here having kirtan. So someone may say, oh, how can he be so hard-hearted or whatever. But
Hmm.
he's on the platform of knowledge. He's beyond this. He actually is understanding the things. He's seeing things as they are. Then that's another thing. Later, Mahaprabhu, he understands, oh, there's something that happened in this house because I feel not that pleasure which I usually feel. Then some of them told him, oh, Srivas's son died in the course of the night. Oh, Srivas, why didn't you tell me? How could you do that? Why didn't you tell me? Then he brought the child back to life.
Oh,
And he was telling the child, why are you leaving? He said, well, I'm going, it's on a journey. How much time I have in this body I am. And then I have to go to the next destination.
hmm. Hmm.
So,
So, I think here, although Srivas Thakur, I just want to clear my doubt here. Although I'm no one to question this, because he was in transcendental stage, right? But at that time, sometimes we cannot understand. You just mentioned, crying is natural emotion, when the ladies of the house were crying because a mother is crying, her son died. And
Mm.
Srivas Thakur, although he is in transcendental mode, but at that time, should he like if you are in transcendental mode, you actually see the truth, and you also know that the person, we cannot control the emotions of somebody and how what they are going through.
Yeah,
So yeah, right.
yeah. But it's because at that time, Mahaprabhu was having kirtan in the house.
Mm,
The Lord himself, Krishna himself is having kirtan in the house and Srivas Thakur. And it was like a every night thing. Or every night the
mm,
kirtans would be in his house and he didn't want to stop that. The pleasure of the
mm.
Lord, you know. So he was like, you cry, but don't cry so loudly. You be in your room and you cry
Okay,
like that. Then later,
okay,
as
okay.
the child spoke, Mahaprabhu told the child, why you leaving? And then the child is speaking that all knowledge that, I'm your servant. Wherever you send me, I'm going to be there. You know, by
Mm,
your by your will, I was only allowed this much time in this body, and now I have to go to in my next body. Because Mahaprabhu was telling him, your parents are so sad. Oh, but who's my parents? Who's my father? Who's my mother? You know?
mm,
So it's time for me to go. And so please let me leave now. And you allow me to go. Asking that, he let me go with the association of the devotees. And then he laid down and he was dead again.
oh, so that child was also in the mode of like beyond the modes.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. So that is
That's why
how.
somebody can say, "Okay, let me go."
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And Sita Thakurani also, no, Sita Thakurani is Advaita Acharya, Malini Devi. Malini
Mm,
Devi also, she is also not an ordinary personality, the mother, you
mm,
know. But it's natural at that time, as a mother, affectionate mother, she was crying,
uh,
you know. So,
okay. Okay. Got it.
yeah. So Srivas Thakur was just saying, you don't make such a big noise. You do, but you keep
Mm,
silent. Let the kirtan go on. Don't disturb the kirtan.
mm,
So an ordinary person like us may not be able to understand this pastime. It's not easy to understand the mood of
mm,
the Vaishnavas because someone may say, oh, how could it be so hard-hearted? What is this? You
mm,
know? So, but see, that's why the 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 activities of a Vaishnava not easy for a common average person to understand.
mm. Okay. I see.
But we can see that how much love Srivas Thakur has for Krishna, for Lord Chaitanya. Yeah.
Mm,
He's completely surrendered to Lord Chaitanya. And the child was also completely surrendered. It's like you allowed me to stay here for however much ever time. Now you need me to go somewhere else. I'll go somewhere else now.
mm. And it is also, I don't know, I heard it somewhere that like bhajans and kirtan we should not leave our devotional service even when somebody dies.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Devotional service should go on. Yes.
Just like in when we in actually in Hinduism only, when somebody dies at home, then they cannot go to temple for next 3 4 days.
Mm.
Yeah, but it's not in the case of Vaishnavas.
Mm. Yeah, and one can actually do kirtan at home, do more
Yeah.
chanting at home. I mean, if you're not allowed to go, it's just do more
Mm.
hearing, more chanting at home.
Mm.
Hare Krishna Shilpa ji, on this regard, I was just like to add, uh, lately we had a discussion and Bhavna Mataji said that she had read somewhere that हमारे घर में जो 13 days का वो सूतक लगता है, अगर कोई मर जाता है then for 13 days or something there's सूतक कि आप मंदिर नहीं जाते. So that is because the conditioned soul is in such a emotional state कि जब वो जाएगा तो वो भगवान को डायरेक्टली ब्लेम कर सकता है कि ये क्या करा आपने. तो जब फिर वो जो सेवा करता है उसमें वो भाव आते हैं, क्योंकि वो पूरे मन से नहीं सेवा कर पाएगा. वो कहीं ना, जैसे हम लोग जो कंडीशन सोल्स हैं, हम तो मिक्स्ड इमोशंस रहेंगे ना कि क्या करा भगवान, वो तुम्हें, मैं उनको इतना प्यार करते थे, आपकी इतनी सेवा कर रही हूँ इतने साल से, फिर भी आपने ये कर दिया मेरे साथ. सो समहाउ our mood will be in that, like our mood will be that way. So हम विग्रह पे कोई अपराध कर सकते हैं या किसी के लिए भी हम अनजाने में कर सकते हैं. सो दैट्स व्हाट शी सेड कि इसलिए वो 13 दिन यू कैन रिगेन. आप वो कथा सुनो, जैसे भागवत कथा रखते हैं घर में लोग, तो फिर आप वो सुनते हो, यू गेन योर सेंसेस कि नहीं ठीक है वो गए अपने जर्नी पे, दैट वाज व्हाट वाज नीडेड एट दैट टाइम. और पूरी कथा से आप वापस अपने उसमें आते हो एंड देन आप जाकर 13 दिन बाद अपनी पूजा दोबारा से चालू करते हो. सो दैट्स व्हाट द लॉजिकल शी गेव. शी सेड दैट इट्स लाइक दिस.
Yeah, it made sense. Actually, I was thinking this was what is going on in my mind. What could be the logic behind this? Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Hmm.
Right.
Yeah, so it's like they are saving us from doing aparadh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but
one
then
who's a devotee, one who's a
yeah, pure
devotee,
devotee, not a pure devotee. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
one who's a
Yes.
devotee, one who's dependent on Krishna, one who's dependent on Krishna, then there's not such rules like that for them.
For the
Okay.
Baddha Jiva like us, like this, what
Yeah.
like we might get. But then Shilpa ji, then I asked her and she did not answer me. So I'll ask you the same question. Okay. So then, like during a child is born in a family, still we have this. सूतक लगता है फिर भी.
Yeah, that's a
फिर
good
भी.
question.
So I asked, I then I found this logic and I asked, she said, Neha, I have to find, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a
So
good
like there
that's a
must be
good one.
some logic there also,
Yeah.
right? But then
Yeah, I'm
I
not
haven't
sure.
got the answer yet. So if anybody can find that answer, please.
Okay. I
Yeah.
didn't know about this. Like even a child is born, then
Yeah,
also there's a sutra. I don't know.
yes, yes, yes. When the child is born, it is called something else. But then, even for few days, you cannot go to temple. घर में कोई पूजा वगैरह नहीं होती है.
Really? That's strange.
But then isn't it
Okay.
the next day itself, like we are hearing how Krishna, now whose Jat ceremony, yeah, Vaman Dev, immediately they had to do the birth ceremony. The Brahmanas do
Yeah.
immediately birth ceremony the next day, right?
Mm-hmm.
We are hearing that they're doing all these pujas. Uh, like Nandotsav was also there,
But I
right?
don't know. मतलब अभी तक
The
भी लोगों
next
के
day.
घरों में when
Mm.
the kid is born,
Mm. Yeah, actually, I don't know about that.
when the kid is born, then still, oh really? Because like even now, at least for 7 days, there is no puja in the house.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Is it,
I
is
don't
it
know
for like
about this.
both, like even a girl or a boy?
The whole family, whole
Okay.
family.
I mean, if a
Not
boy
my,
is born,
not my family, only
or
my husband's family.
or girl is born, or maybe if a girl
Boy
is
or girl,
born, maybe
any
that's why
child.
it's a
Yes, yes,
sutak. Yeah.
any, and no, 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 any child, male, female, any child,
Okay.
for 7 days.
Okay.
So if
Okay.
somebody can find the logic, please.
Okay, interesting. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right then.
Okay. Thank you.
Bhagavad Gita ki
Thank you.
jai, Srila Prabhupada
Jai,
ki jai, Gaur
Jai,
Bhakta
Jai.
Vrinda ki jai. Hare
Jai.
Krishna.
Jai.
Thank you
Hare
all for
Krishna.